My mom died of cancer, leaving behind a mountain of debt. My dad never remarried. To help him pay off every cent, I gave up my dream of going to college and worked myself to the bone. I never expected that years later, at a theme park, my dad and I would see her again. My mom, who was supposed to be long dead, was happily strolling with her first love and their child. It turned out she had faked her death just to elope with another man. My dad was devastated and went to confront her, only to be murdered by her and her lover. They didn't let me live, either. When I opened my eyes again, I was back on the day she supposedly died. After the doctor declared my mother dead, my dad collapsed onto the floor, sobbing uncontrollably. I remained eerily calm, my eyes fixed on my mother's attending physician, Dr. Sterling. She wore a mask of professional grief. "I'm so sorry for your loss. There was nothing more we could do. You should start making the funeral arrangements." "Dr. Sterling, my mom was doing fine yesterday. How could she just drop dead today?" I suddenly spoke up. Dr. Sterling froze for a second before quickly recovering. "Cancer is a ticking time bomb. Sudden death is very common in patients like her. The charts and test results are all there. I showed them to you earlier." Her reaction confirmed my suspicions. She was definitely the one helping my mother pull off this scam. In my past life, my mother faked her death from cancer and left a massive pile of debt for my father and me. We spent 10 agonizing years working our lives away to pay it off. On the day we finally cleared the debt, we saw her at a theme park. She wasn't dead at all. She had faked the whole thing to run away with her high school sweetheart. They even had a kid together and had been living a life of luxury for a decade. Meanwhile, my dad and I were kept in the dark, living like paupers just to settle her bills. And in the end, they killed us to keep their secret. The hatred burned in my chest. I felt like I was drowning in it. In this life, I won't let anyone who hurt us get away with it. Just you wait. I don't believe she died this quickly. Something is wrong. I raised my voice, drawing the attention of everyone in the ward. Dr. Sterling's face turned a sickly shade of pale. "Don't talk nonsense. We have a death certificate right here. Besides, your mother is already in the morgue. You can go check if you don't believe me." My dad wiped his tears and grabbed my arm. "Ethan, your mom is gone. I know you're hurting, but we have to be reasonable. I saw the reports myself. It really was the cancer." I wanted to scream at him that I wasn't sad at all, but it wasn't time to reveal the truth yet. I looked at him. "Dad, how can you be sure those reports weren't forged? I don't buy it. If it wasn't cancer, it was medical malpractice. I'm calling the police and requesting an autopsy." The word autopsy made Dr. Sterling's face go white. She gritted her teeth. "Young man, watch what you say. This is a top-tier hospital. Malpractice is impossible here. Is that so?" I stared her down. "If this hospital is so prestigious, then you shouldn't be afraid of an autopsy." I pulled out my phone to dial 911. Dr. Sterling panicked and snatched the phone right out of my hand. "You can't call the police." Wow, she was really losing it. I tilted my head and smirked. "And why not? Dr. Sterling, you're so desperate to stop me. Now I have even more reason to suspect you're covering something up." My dad seemed to finally catch on. Something about her behavior didn't sit right with him. "Ethan is right. You're acting very strange. I'll call them myself." Before she could stop him, my dad pulled out his phone and made the call. Dr. Sterling tried to block him, but it was too late. I was genuinely curious to see how they would keep this lie going once the forensic team showed up. The police station was close, so officers arrived within minutes. After I explained the situation, the police informed us that we had every right to request an autopsy. They handed us a form for the next of kin to sign. Dr. Sterling stood to the side, sweat beading on her forehead. She was still trying to talk her way out of it. "Officer, I'm a professional. There's no way I made a mistake." The officer patted her shoulder. "Don't worry. Once the autopsy is done, the truth will come out." Dr. Sterling looked like she was about to faint. My dad was still crying, his voice thick with grief. "Thank you, officer. Please, we just need to know what happened. I can't let my wife go without knowing the truth." My dad loved her so much. He had spent his whole life providing for her. Back when they got married, he was like a loyal dog, worshipping the ground she walked on. That's why, in my previous life, finding out the truth destroyed him. He couldn't handle the betrayal. The coroner led us toward the morgue, putting on a mask and grabbing his kit. I felt a surge of dark excitement. I couldn't wait to see how my mother would keep playing dead when the scalpel came out. "Wait, don't go in there." Dr. Sterling suddenly lunged forward, blocking the coroner's path. The coroner frowned. "Please step aside. I have a job to do." Dr. Sterling stammered. I just think it's disrespectful to the deceased. She just passed away. Cutting her open so soon is wrong." "Dr. Sterling, we're the family and we don't mind. Why are you so worked up? I don't consent to an autopsy." A sharp, angry voice cut me off. I turned around to see my grandmother Martha marching down the hall. A handsome man was holding her arm. I instinctively took a step back. I recognized him instantly. He was the man my mother eloped with in my past life, Sebastian Thorne. "Robert, I'm not dead yet. Since when do you make the big decisions in this family?" Martha glared at my father with pure venom. My dad pulled me behind him and lowered his head. "I'm sorry, Martha, but this is urgent. We suspect there might have been a medical error." "Robert, this is a world-class hospital. The attending physician is a close friend of mine. His skills are famous in the city. There's no way there was an error." Sebastian spoke up, his eyes cold as he stared at us. There wasn't a hint of kindness in his gaze. "Great. They brought in Grandma to stop the autopsy." I pushed past my dad and looked Martha in the eye. "Grandma, Dr. Sterling is definitely hiding something." She looked terrified when I mentioned the autopsy. "And this guy just admitted he's friends with the doctor. They're obviously in on it together. Don't you want to know how your own daughter died? An autopsy will settle everything." "You brat. How dare you?" Sebastian snapped. "Your mother and I grew up together. I loved her dearly. Why would I ever hurt her?" Martha didn't budge. She kept that same hateful expression. "You heartless little monster. Your mother is dead, and you want to butcher her body instead of letting her rest in peace. I'm telling you right now, my daughter will be buried whole and untouched." She raised her cane as if to strike me. I was fast enough to dodge it. My dad rushed in to defend me. "Martha, Ethan didn't mean it like that. He's just upset and wants answers." Martha didn't listen to a word. She just kept repeating the same thing. "No autopsy." I saw a flash of triumph in Sebastian's eyes, and it clicked. Martha was protecting him. Does that mean she knows Mom is faking it too? In my last life, right after Mom died, Martha coincidentally went abroad for medical treatment and never came back. The whole damn family was in on the scam against my dad and me. I grabbed my dad's arm. "It's okay, Dad. If Grandma says no, then we won't do it." Maybe I really did misjudge Dr. Sterling. The tension in the doctor's shoulders visibly snapped. She let out a huge sigh of relief. I'm glad you've come to your senses, Ethan. I'd never hurt your mother. I ignored her and looked at Martha. Grandma, you're right. She should be buried whole. Let's take her back to the old family estate in the countryside and bury her there immediately. As soon as I said that, Martha and Sebastian both turned pale. No, that's not a good idea, Martha stammered. I narrowed my eyes. Why not? Don't you want her buried properly? But you just said. Fine, Sebastian interrupted, glancing at Martha. Ethan has a point. We should take Vanessa's body back home for the burial. We took my mother's body. The entire way, I insisted on sitting in the back of the transport van to keep watch over her. Nobody could talk me out of it, so they had to let me. I could see Sebastian's jaw clenching so hard it looked like his teeth might shatter. He probably planned to let my mom out of the casket somewhere along the road, but I wasn't going to give them that chance. He thought he was the only smart person in the room, but he had no idea what was coming. I looked at my mom lying next to me. Her eyes were shut tight and her skin was pale. She looked dead, but I could clearly see the slight movement of her nostrils. She was breathing. Mom, just you wait. I'm going to peel back your lies one by one. Once we reached the house, I insisted that we couldn't bury her right away. I said we needed to keep her in a refrigerated casket in the living room for a few days while we prayed for her soul. Martha and Sebastian looked like they wanted to scream. We can't do that, Sebastian said. I glared at him. I thought you were so close to her. Don't you want her soul to find peace? I shut him down completely. He had to follow my lead. I watched with a hidden smile as my mother was lifted into the freezing casket. I laughed internally. Oh, Mom, you're going to suffer for this. It's the middle of winter. I wonder how cold it is in there. That night, everyone fell asleep in the living room. I pretended to doze off on the sofa. A little while later, I heard the lid of the casket creak open. Then came Sebastian's worried whisper. Vanessa, are you freezing? Come out quick. I'll put the mannequin in. My mother's voice was literally shivering. I'm dying in there. It's so cold. I've been holding it in all day. I swear that brat is doing this on purpose. I curled my lip into a smile. Keep talking, Mom. My phone was hidden nearby, recording every word and every movement between her and Sebastian. Soon, I'd show the whole world this little performance. Finally, the day of the funeral arrived. I decided to go live on TikTok. I cried my eyes out in front of the camera. Today is my mom's funeral. I'm devastated, but she loved a good crowd. I want my followers to help me say goodbye to her. I had a decent following of a few 100,000 from my singing videos, so the viewers started pouring in immediately. The pallbearers brought the casket out. My dad's eyes were swollen from crying so much. Martha and Sebastian, however, didn't look sad at all. They thought they had swapped my mom out and were about to start their new life while my dad and I paid their debts. Not a chance. I'm not tripping over the same stone twice. As the casket was about to be lowered into the grave, I propped my phone up on the ground to capture everything. I lunged forward and hugged the casket, wailing like my heart was breaking. Mom, I can't let you go. I need to see you one last time. My dad started crying even harder and joined me, clutching the wood. I want to see her too. Just one last look. Martha screamed. She's dead. What is there to see? Just bury her already. But I refused to let go. No, I need to see my mother. I won't let you stop me. Sebastian tried to play the good guy since force wasn't working. He came over and tried to pull me away. Ethan, I know you're hurting, kid, but there are rules for burials. Once the lid is closed, it stays closed. Damn, I underestimated how persistent he could be. He was trying to use tradition to shut me up, but I had plenty of ways to deal with him. I literally jumped into the grave pit, leaning against the casket. If I don't see her, nobody is burying anything today. My dad might be a bit of a pushover when it came to love, but in this moment, he was the perfect partner in crime. He knelt down and begged Martha. Please, she was my wife. Let us say goodbye properly. Martha looked at him with nothing but coldness. No, guards, pull them away. I knew this would happen. That's why I had already called the local news stations. Right on cue, a group of reporters burst into the cemetery. They shoved microphones in Martha's face. It's natural for a son to want to see his mother. Why are you so determined to keep this casket closed, ma'am? Exactly. It's such a small request. Why won't you let them have closure? She was your daughter. Don't you want to see her face one last time? The reporters were relentless, filming Martha as she started to fumble. Sebastian, help me, she shrieked. The reporters immediately swarmed Sebastian. What is your relationship to the deceased? Why is she asking you for help? Are you her son-in-law? Then who is the man crying by the grave? Sebastian's face turned stiff. I'm a family friend. We have traditions here. We don't open caskets once they are sealed. Your traditions? One reporter raised her voice. You're not her husband. Why should your traditions matter over the family's wishes? Good one. I almost wanted to clap. While Martha and Sebastian were distracted by the media circus, I seized the moment. I shoved the lid open with all my might. Ah, where did my mom go? I screamed in fake horror.